Ladies and gentlemen, boys and germaphobes, welcome to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, and this is my review for Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about bloody time. No, correction. The game is called Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about fucking time. No, correction once again. It is called Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. And it releases for the PlayStation 4 on the 2nd of October. And as the more perceptive among you might be aware, this is only the 1st of October. So therefore I am able to talk about the game in the future tense, past tense, present tense. Anyway, regardless, this is my review, and what a review it is. So, what is Crash Bandicoot 4? Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Well, it's quite simple. It is a sequel to Crash Bandicoot 3. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Which, as the more perceptive among you might remember, released originally for the PlayStation 1. Ooh, back in the day. And I say back in the day because I don't have my notes in front of me. And in fact, even if I did have my notes in front of me, I don't have my glasses on, so I wouldn't be able to read them anyway. So, I will just have to hazard a guess that the original Crash Bandicoot 3 came out in something like that. So, this is the long-awaited sequel to the third game, which was, as you may remember, developed by Naughty Dog, who have now gone on to create Angry Lesbians and Hunky Heroes, now played in film versions by Tom Holland, which I think is a very stupid choice. They should have got someone else, like Nathan Fillion perhaps, who starred in a fan film of this particular franchise I'm talking about, which is not Crash Bandicoot, so let's get back to the review. So, what the hell was I saying? I completely lost my chain of thought. Yes, so, this is a sequel to Crash Bandicoot 3, though there have been other Crash Bandicoot games released in that time, but a la Halloween 2018, it basically says, fuck the rest of the games in the franchise, they didn't exist, you can take them and put them in the bin immediately. We are the one true sequel, and I am the one true original? Obsessive Compulsive Gamer. Yes, that's what I meant to say. I'm not even going to edit that flub out, because it would take me, frankly, far too long. So, what can you expect from Crash Bandicoot 4? Well, much of the same as before, as in running through levels. As you can see here, I am demonstrating gameplay from the first level in the game, which I have subtitled, How Not to Play Crash Bandicoot 4. You're going to find out why in a minute. So, you go through the levels, attacking enemies, smashing boxes, collecting power-ups. You get to the end of the level, you get given gems, I think, if I remember rightly. No, gems are part of the original trilogy. Anyway, you finish the levels, as you can see here, absolutely beautiful, stunning levels. And you move on to the next one. There are boss fights. A lot of the recurring enemies from the Crash Bandicoot universe come back, as well as some characters from previous games, which I was surprised to see. And you may, or may not, get to play as these characters, a la Crash's girlfriend from Crash 1. Spoilers, I guess. And you get to play extra levels, which are called timelines. And you also get to play as Neo Cortex, which you'll remember if you played the demo, or if you've seen the trailer for this game, which I assume you have. I assume you've watched the trailers repeatedly over and over, a la what I like to call a little technique called the masturbatory video game technique, as in, you keep doing it over and over, so it's kind of like... Anyway, I promised I wouldn't make any lewd jokes in this review. It is Crash Bandicoot after all, which is a baby's game. Though it's not a baby's game, because I don't think a baby could play this game. You know, to do with their thumbs, I think. Nothing to do with the fact that the game is as hard as shit. So yes, much like the original Crash Bandicoot trilogy, this game does not pull its punches. This game is bloody hard. I would often find myself having to replay levels over and over and over again. A little technique I like to call the masturbatory level repeat technique. As in, I had to keep replaying the level. So, but the game is quite gentle with you. It gives you the option to play on a more realistic original difficulty where you're given lives, or a modern difficulty where basically you just go back to a checkpoint when you die. And of course I played on the original... No, I didn't. I played on modern difficulty. Yes, I know. I'm a baby, I'm a pussy, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I can't be a pussy because I've always been more of a dog fellow myself. Anyway, so yes. So, it matches the original trilogy pretty much 1 for 1. Except 1, it's a much better looking game. 2, it has more surprises than the original trilogy. Though you will see levels that are kind of nods and winks and innuendos to the original trilogy. And some of the sequels which now do not exist. They have disappeared into the very fabric of time itself. Kind of appropriate considering the tagline for this game. What was it again? Oh yes, it's about bloody time. No, something like that anyway. So, how long is this game? Well, it's actually the biggest Crash Bandicoot game yet. You have optional levels called the timeline levels. You also have flashback levels you can play through. Which is a nice little nod if you know the backstory of Crash Bandicoot from the original game. You can obviously replay the levels, get all the boxes, to get, you know, that 100% completion. I have not done that yet, but as I said, the game's not out yet. So how could I possibly have done that? Oh, and I meant to say at the beginning of the review, I would just like to thank Activision for not giving me a review copy of the game. Thank you very much, Activision. I will send you some of my excrement in the post. So, without me babbling on for much longer, I can tell you definitively that this is the best Crash Bandicoot game yet. Hands down. No argument there. I had a bloody good time playing this game, and in fact, as soon as I finish recording this review, then doing the dishes, then redoing the dishes, because my wife always tells me I never clean them properly the first time, then perhaps I'll watch some TV. Then maybe I'll knit for a little bit, maybe do some crochet. Then I have to masturbate. But then, after all of that is done, I will be replaying Crash Bandicoot 4, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm going to give Crash Bandicoot 4, blah, 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 a 10 out of 10. Yes, no decimal points in this review. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my review. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Perhaps leave some abuse for me in my comments section. And as always, remember to stay obsessed with blah 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 and gaming.